Good morning, students. Welcome back to the online class. In the last class, we discussed the handloom, especially the making of Dharmavaram saris. What are the things used to weave the saris, and in which place these kinds of saris are woven? The raw materials of these saris, kacha pattu, and the simple machinery used for that, maggam or the loom, wooden loom, and kundans, chamkis, etc., about which we discussed in the last class. In this class, we discuss about the tools and machinery which are used to weave the cloths according to the system here. Tools and machinery. One is a wooden loom. Loom is maggam. In the last video, I showed a photo of a loom. You remember an old man is waving on the loom. So that is called a wooden loom. It's a main tool for waving. Then they use small knives. Knives, opposite, knives means plural of knife. Kattilu, chinna kattilu. Trunks of maize. Maize plant, you know, maize plant. The trunk of the maize plant is used. Horns are used. Horns of some animals, or the thing shaped like a horn is used. Other tools like a huge container for boiling. Huge container for boiling. For boiling, container needed because to prepare the yarn for weaving, boiling is there, and for coloring also it is very necessary. So huge container needed. Iron rods for drying. After dipping into the color water, the yarn hung over iron rods to dry it up. So iron rods are needed. Spinning wheel is needed for making yarns, preparing yarns. Spinning wheel is required. Also, fly shuttle is needed. Fly shuttle. Fly shuttle is very necessary to pass the weft from one side to the other side. Or paddle is needed. Paddle is something used in the maggam or the loom, which is operated by the leg of the weaver. So paddle is needed. And also these things are very necessary for designing a saree. Applying different colored threads, yarns into the weaving, these kinds of instruments are very necessary. Also they use computers and punched jacquard cards for designing. To make a design and apply it correctly, they use computers and punched jacquard cards. These are so helpful for designing. And for weaving a saree, they give priority for designing only, because any saree is liked by the people by seeing its design only. Okay. And earlier, they used to plot the design on graph paper. Earlier computers were not there. At that time they made a design on a graph paper. But now computers are used because computers are very easy and fast. Also they use jacquard cards. Jacquard cards means here the picture is there. Cards with different holes on it. These jacquard cards are used for making beautiful designs. Okay. What is the process of weaving? Let us look at the process of weaving. Weavers use warp, weft and zari. In the last class we discussed these things. What is warp? The vertical threads are called warp. What is called weft? The horizontal threads are called weft. The threads that cross here and there is called weft. And zari is the golden or silver thread used to design a sari. So these things are used in the weaving process. So for that they apply the yarn or thread on the vertical frame of the warping machine. It is called a dolu. Warping machine on which the warp is arranged. The vertical threads are arranged. It is octagonal in shape. Means a shape which have different angles. The warp is nearly 75 meters long, which can make 10 saris at a time. The warp is how many meters long? 75 meters long. How many saris can be woven at a time? Nearly 10 saris can be woven at a time. Okay. The most basic process of weaving is arranging two different sets of yarns which are invented from a fabric or cloth. So one of these sets is called warp, the other set is called weft or woof. Without warp or weft, weaving is not possible. So the warp is loaded into the loom first by attaching each strand of warp to the loom. This process is locally called achu. What is called achu? Arranging the warp to the loom, the weaving machine. This process is called achu. After setting the warp, the weaver arrange jacquard cards according to design and pit loom, which is locally called magam. Okay. Also zari, kundans, stones also used in the weaving where design occurs. For designing they use these things also at the time of weaving. The weavers use hands and legs to weave the sari. That means the weavers work with both hands and both legs at a time to weave the sari. They sit on a high stool, and by sitting on this high stool, they control the activities of the weaving machine. Yes. And to make saris, they require 4 to 8 days. 4 to 8 days are required to weave a sari. It depends upon the variety of designs. If designs are complicated, it will take more time. Yes. Or the purpose of sari, the variety of sari, that also is very important. Accordingly, time will be taken more or less. So 2 persons work continuously 4 to 8 days to complete this work. Yes. And here is a picture of warp and weft in the textbook also. The vertical lines from top to bottom like this is called a warp, and the horizontal threads from left to right, they are called a weft, warp and weft. Okay. Now we look into the life of the weavers. How do the weavers live? Because there is a lot of work for the weavers without rest. Here is an example, a person in Dharmavaram, his name is Venkadeshu. Venkadeshu is a resident of Dharmavaram. He lives in Dharmavaram and he has his wife, his son and daughter-in-law and they work as weavers. Entire family is on work. Here, each one does a particular work. Here Venkadeshu is doing mainly winding the yarn in a charka like something like that, a spinning wheel. On that wheel, he is spinning the yarn to prepare it for weaving. And his son Nagendra is working on the loom. Actually, he is weaving the saris. And his wife and daughter-in-law, they are engaged in dyeing of kachapattu, spurling of yarn, etc. There are some other workers also. But Venkadesha spends most of the time winding yarn because now he has become old, he cannot do other difficult works like that. So, Venkadesha's wife and daughter-in-law do mainly bobbin winding. Here in the picture, a woman is sitting there and spinning the thread now. Here three things you can see. These are called bobbins. Bobbin winding means winding the thread on these bobbins are called bobbin winding. These works are done by Venkadesha's wife and daughter-in-law. Some other workers are there. They are engaged in making sartas for warping. This work is done collectively by group of weavers on streets or outside their house. It's very important for arranging or making warps. And Nagendra, Venkadeshu's son, he brings all the raw material for weaving, like a dyed yarn, zari and design from master weaver. And sometimes from cooperative society. Weavers cooperative society is there. A cooperative society is so helpful for the workers because they get help from the cooperative society. It is said that the cooperative society give them works and definitely they will buy it. If the weavers prepare saris and give, they will buy it. So, Nagendra or Venkadeshu gets the raw materials at a time to weave 10 saris. They get raw materials for 10 saris at a time. And the whole family works. How many hours? 12 to 15 hours a day. 12 to 15 hours a day. That means if they start at 7 o'clock in the morning, evening 7 o'clock, it will become how many hours? 12 hours. Again, 3 more hours, that means up to 10 o'clock, they may be engaged in work. And like that, they are engaged in 40 to 50 days. Then only they can complete 10 saris. They earn about rupees 1,300 per sari for the work. That is their earning. So 10 saris means 13,000 rupees. How many days they have to work? 40 to 50 days means nearly 2 months. So these many people working for 2 months and they are getting only 13,000 rupees means is it sufficient for the family? It is not at all sufficient for the family. So it will become necessary for them to look for some other works also or other source of income also. Sometimes the cooperative societies may not give sufficient work. At that time, they may have to look for some other work. Especially the women folk in the family. The women in the family are working hard because they have to take care of household works also, like cooking, food, washing, cleaning, etc. And also come and join this weaving work. Actually, they are hard workers in the family. So when cooperative societies do not give sufficient work, what does Venkatesh do or Venkatesh's family do? They uh, they get works from, or they collect works from others also. It is said that in Dharmavaram a master weaver. Master weaver means a person who is leading the weaving activity in an area. He collects all the weavers and give them work, and the saris are made, and he collects the saris and sell it outside and get money. Such a weaver is master weaver, and a master weaver agreed to give them work. They are working under the master weaver. The master weaver gives raw materials, designs, etc. Venkateshu now also is a member of cooperative society. He has not left the membership of the cooperative society. Why? Because he hopes that one day the cooperative society will improve the conditions and they will begin to give work. Because cooperative society is more safe for Venkateshu and his family. That's why he is expecting a future functioning of these cooperative societies. Yes. Another problem arises nowadays in Dharmavaram and in the surrounding areas. So many big looms, factories came into existence. In each factory, around 100 to 300 looms are there. It means factory means a large scale production. So many workers will be there. As a result, saris can be prepared fast and more quantity. That is advantage of a factory. And weavers are working in it. Weavers are working in the factory, and weavers get shelter and salary also. Shelter means a place for staying, and they get salary also. That is safe for them. So this is the problems faced by the weavers in Dharmavaram. It is not only the problems of the weavers in Dharmavaram, but the weavers in almost all areas. Nowadays mostly factory production is taking place. Venkateshu and the family has their own loom. Then also they are not able to buy the raw material and make saris their own and sell it outside because they don't know market. They don't have market. They don't know where to sell. They don't know who needs the sari. So these kinds of things are known by master weavers only, otherwise traders only. Okay, in the next class we shall discuss about the weavers' problems in detail. They have many more problems. Let us discuss it in the next class. Till then, you must answer the questions I give. The questions are, question number 1. What are the tools of weavers? What are the tools of weavers? Question number 2. What do they use for designing? What do they use for designing? Question number 3. What is dolu? What is dolu? Question number 4. How long is work? How long is work? How many saris can be made at a time? How many saris can be made at a time? Question number 5. What is called achu? What is called achu? Question number 6. How does the cooperative society help Venkateshu? How does the cooperative society help Venkateshu? Question number 7. Why did Venkateshu decide to work for master weaver? Why did Venkateshu decide to do work for master weaver? So before writing answer to these questions, you must read the textbook very well. You also read your material and find out the right answer and write and send to me. All of you must do homework compulsorily, then only you can understand these lessons very well and you can get good marks also. Okay? Wish you all the best.